2024 certainly was a year, huh? I hit 500 subscribers, and the entire game industry seemed to collapse on its ass. Tough time to be a game designer. But it's a new year, and there's a lot of stuff that can happen. But I'm not here to talk about that. Today, I'm here to talk about something that shouldn't happen this year. And that's the next generation of Pokemon games. Pokemon games have a habit of releasing their main series games in 3-year intervals, and this upcoming fall will mark 3 years since Scarlet and Violet came out. So naturally, that would mean the next generation would come out this year, right? Well, I'm here to ask the Pokemon Company to please not do that! And there is a couple reasons as to why. Let's start with the elephant in the room. It's no secret that the Pokemon Company's reputation isn't exactly stellar at the moment. There's obviously the whole Palworld lawsuit, which to me seems like a lose-lose for them. If they win the lawsuit, they'll be viewed as poor sports who want to take down all their competition. And if they lose, it opens the door to a lot more of said competition. But I don't want to dwell too much on this lawsuit, as I don't know too much about it. I want to talk about the state of Pokemon itself. While recent Pokemon games have been doing just fine financially, their critical reception is a different story. The two most recent generations in particular have been especially tough for the Pokemon Company's reputation, and especially among their older fans. Because when it comes to both of these generations, it was abundantly clear just how rushed they were. The controversy with Pokemon Sword and Shield speaks for itself, and it made a lot of people see that Pokemon didn't seem to be what it once was. Now, this was the first gaming controversy that I followed as it was happening, and while I didn't mind too much at the beginning, things just kept getting worse and worse as it went on. I didn't even care that the National Dex was absent, but what I did care about was that Game Freak was pretty clearly lying about why it was absent, claiming that they wanted to put extra care and high-quality animations into the game to enhance the experience. I really don't need to say anything else. There are entire compilation videos that show why these reasons were a load of Tauros crap. But if you want to know my exact problems with these games, check out this video by Arlo. He mirrors my opinions almost exactly. Then Scarlet and Violet. Oh, Scarlet and Violet. Again, there are entire compilation videos about what's wrong here. At launch, these games were absolutely infested with glitches and bugs. So much so that Nintendo actually had to issue an apology in the patch notes that came out later. Personally, I didn't even play much of Scarlet and Violet, but after they came out, I saw the videos online showing off how unbelievably rushed these games were. And then, after playing for a couple hours, I just kinda lost interest. Yeah, you heard that right. The guy who wrote a song about Pokemon was losing interest in Pokemon. Not a good sign. And that brings us to the upcoming Generation 10. Again, these games should not come out this year, and instead wait until 2026. But why should they do this? You know, aside from the previous games being rushed as hell. Simple. 2026 is going to be the 30th anniversary of Pokemon. So that would literally be the perfect time to release Gen 10. The Pokemon Company has to realize this, but are they willing to push a game back a year? Because if there's anything to be learned about Pokemon's quality troubles, it's that Pokemon is more than just a game franchise. It's a brand. The highest grossing media brand of all time, in fact, with only a fraction of that money coming from the games, and the lion's share of its money being made off of merchandise. But that merchandise is dependent on the games. They won't be able to sell shirts of Gen 10 Pokemon until Gen 10 comes out, so it would obviously be insanely profitable to release the games as soon as possible, right? You couldn't pay me to say that wasn't at least part of why Gens 8 and 9 were so rushed. With everything that depended on these games, it probably would have been a nightmare to push their release dates back. But this is especially concerning due to the fact that Game Freak is partnered with Nintendo. And say what you want about Nintendo, but they've proven time and time again that they care about the quality of their games. If they aren't satisfied with the product they have, they'll push back the release date to give themselves some more time. And this is why it's so shocking that Game Freak is putting out these games that are clearly incomplete. Is the Pokemon brand just so powerful that even Nintendo can't do anything to stop it? A frightening thought indeed. But truthfully, I think I'm describing the worst case scenario. The entire Pokemon company should be able to see that Pokemon's 10th generation coming out on its 30th anniversary is free publicity. Anyone with the slightest sliver of marketing experience should be able to see that. And besides, we already have Legend ZA coming out this year, so it's not like 2025 will be empty when it comes to Pokemon content. But in the slightest, ever so off chance that Game Freak is thinking about releasing Gen 10 this year, I'm here to say, please don't. There's a lot of things that this generation needs to do, and I don't think any of them will be accomplished if the game's released this year. Take an extra year to polish the games, and let's all celebrate Pokemon's 30th anniversary the right way. That's my 2 cents anyway. Thanks for listening.